hey guys, this is the video I never wanted to make, and I've tried several times to make it, and I'm going to post this up on both my channels, on Woman at the Wheel and on Sue Sells, because I just abandoned Sue Sells. I've abandoned both channels because of the situation with Bill. I haven't posted up anything for several months, and you know, it's gotten to the point where everything has changed, and you know, I'm just going to tell you what's been going on and what the result of it was. I'll start with the result because that seems like the place to start. So my husband Bill died about 3 months ago, and he had fought neuroendocrine cancer for about 5 years, but it just got the better of him. He was stage 4 5 years ago when he was diagnosed, and so I feel pretty fortunate that I had another 5 years with him, to be honest, because he was just full of tumors. They were everywhere, and the treatment and the surgery he had in New Orleans back in 2020 saved his life and gave him another almost 5 years. So, you know, he did everything he could to live as long as he could. But about December, he started going downhill pretty fast, and at the end of April he died. Now, I don't like to say passed away, it's a euphemism. I mean, it's trying to soften the blow of saying that somebody died, but the truth is he died. So I'm not going to call it passed away or left this world or any of that. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm a realist. If I'm nothing else, I'm a realist. So, you know. But yeah, so I've tried to make this video multiple times, and I just haven't been able to get through it. I think I'm in a better place with it now. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm having, I think, actually more good days than I'm having bad days. And today started out a little heavy, but the last week's been pretty good. So, you know, maybe I'll get a couple of weepy days a week instead of, you know, bawling my head off all week long. I never cried so much in my life. You just don't know until you go through it. The water buffaloes are out here. Water buffaloes. Who'd have thought, in Oklahoma. So, anyway, that's the reality. So, Bill died in April. Today is June, or July. It's not June, it's July. I'm getting into the end of July now, July 20th. And it's just afternoon. It's 12:45-ish. So I thought I would run up to Chickasha and fuel up the truck. I can get my diesel up there a lot cheaper because I've got a Love's card. And there's a local Love's up there that has cheap diesel anyway, and then I get another 15 cents off a gallon. It's driving 30 miles to get fuel, but it's worth it, and I can stop by Starbucks and get a cup of coffee on the way back, and I haven't done that for a while. So I thought I would just do those things today. It's a Sunday. I've got nothing else to do. I've been working hard all week. I've been working really hard, actually every day since Bill died, because, well, not every day. I think for about a week or two after he died, I couldn't do anything, you know, but I decided I better pull myself up by my bootstraps and get with it, or I was just going to fade away, and I didn't think that would be something that he would want me to do. I mean, he fought for every day of life he had for the past 5 years. I don't think he'd appreciate me sitting around and crying and pissing away the life I have, you know. People are driving crazy out here already. Go on, you crazy people. Crazy ass people. Anyway, so that's what I've been dealing with for the last 3-ish months. is just trying to get my equilibrium. Things are never going to be like they were. I mean, it's never going to go back to whatever normal used to be. And I don't like the term the new normal because of the whole COVID crap. I thought that term was way abused and overused, and it's obnoxious. I'm not gonna characterize the rest of my life like that, but I have to find an equilibrium somewhere on how to keep going and not just sit around feeling sorry for myself. Because to be honest, I did for a while. I sat around feeling sorry for myself, and sorry for Bill, and sorry for everything he had to go through, and sorry for not being nicer to him, and sorry about everything. I sat around feeling sorry about everything pretty much for a couple of months intensely. And I'm just now getting to the point where, you know, I'm starting to have some good days and not dwell on it so much. I'm never going to forget it. I'm never going to get over it. But I think I'm starting to adjust to it, adapt to it. And that's pretty much the thing you have to do with every change in life. You adapt to it or you just die. You just shrivel up and die. And I'm refusing to shrivel up and die right now. I'm just not going to do it. You know, I think that would be dishonoring his fight to get every day he got. And he did. He fought for every day he got. So I'll do the same and appreciate every day I get, even though he's not here. I can still find some reason, you know, to look at a whole day and say, well, that wasn't a bad day. Maybe it's not a great day, but maybe it was a good day, or maybe it wasn't a horrible day. So anyway, that's what's happened. So what I've been doing is, I sat and didn't do much for a couple of weeks. My sister came out, my older sister came out and stayed with me for a while. And we just sat around and watched Turkish soap operas and ate ice cream and you know, hung out and did little odds and ends around the house, that kind of stuff. But I wasn't ready to like really tackle anything. I wasn't really ready for any big upheaval. And so it took me a while just to get to where I could start making things different. And one of the biggest things I needed to do was clean the house. Because for the last 5 years, I cleaned it in the house and all that on the back burner. I would do the bare minimum to keep it livable. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't going to spend all my time cleaning the house when Bill needed my attention and help and stuff. So my house was a disaster. It was flat out disgusting. And I'm not like a freaky neatnik or anything, but I don't do chaos well. I'm not a fan of chaos. I prefer serenity and orderliness in my life. So the house was a big mess of chaos, and I have been working on it steadily for the past couple of months. Every day I pick something to do every day and just work on it until I get it done. And so I've actually managed to clean everything really well. Did a deep cleaning on every room, which it's severely needed. And once I got that done, I thought, you know, I'm just gonna rethink how I want to use these rooms now. Oh, that's right, pull out in front of me. Good idea. So I was rethinking how to use the rooms in the house. What would I do with them now? Because before, 2 of the rooms were set up to cater to Bill, completely and utterly. Whatever he wanted to do, you know, he had a room set up as a TV room and kind of a den, and then he had another room set up for whatever else. And So I thought, I'm just gonna, this didn't happen overnight. This was like in the last couple of weeks. I thought, I'm just gonna redo this to suit me. What do I need? What do I need to do? What can I get rid of out of this house? I had a lot of shit. It's like, I need to get rid of some of this stuff. Seriously, it's ridiculous. I have way too much stuff. So I've spent the last 2 weeks hauling everything out of the house that I don't want or need. And this isn't like a bunch of fancy stuff. This is a bunch of old beat up crap that we've had around for years, just stuff that I don't use or don't need, stuff that might have been his that, wasn't really going to be useful or whatever. And then some stuff his that is very useful. I've kept it organized and set it up where I can actually find it and get to it and use it. So, yeah. So I've got the house pretty much now where I want it to be. I just got the third bedroom yesterday kind of finished, and instead of using it as a guest bedroom, which was what I had been doing basically, cleared it out and I turned it into like a little den for me, and put a big TV in there. I had a great big TV that is so big that I didn't want to lift it real high, so I hung it low on the wall because I had to get it up there. But I turned it into a nice little sitting room, and got my musical instruments and stuff in there, my hobby stuff. So it's like my hobby den type of thing. I can paint in there if I want to. I've been known to paint a little bit. I'm not good at anything, but I like to dabble in everything. So between dabbling in the painting and the music and whatever, this gives me a place to do this dedicated, and I can shut the door where I can sit there and watch TV if I want to. Watch TV in a comfy chair. Bill's old desk chair is relatively comfortable. And I'm too cheap right now to go buying another one, which at some point I probably will. But for now, I just wrapped this one in a blanket, so it kind of covered up the ugly a little bit, because it's pretty ugly. And made it prettied it up a little bit, so it's not such an eyesore, but it's comfortable. So I've got that set up. The biggest bedroom in the house, which before was Bill's sitting room, like he had his big TV and stuff in there and his desk. I got all that out, and then I switched it around and turned that into the guest bedroom. I like my bedroom where it's at, and I don't want to give it up because I've got a little bath right off my bedroom. It's part of it. It's like a little suite. It's not big, it's not fancy, it's little, but it's great for me. It's just what I need. So I thought, I'm leaving that as my room, and then I'll turn that old den into the new guest room. I guess part of this for me is dispelling some of the old memories about Bill being sick, because when Bill was well, he didn't sit in the house much and just hang around and watch TV or whatever. He was always doing something. He was either inventing something, building something, fixing something, or some project. He always had a project going. He didn't just sit around. He wasn't a sitter until he got sick, and then he got to where he didn't have the energy to go do anything, so then he sat a lot. And I don't want to really remember him as sick Bill. I want to remember him as well Bill, because the thing about somebody being sick like that is it consumes them. It consumes their time, their attention. Everything is focused on this thing, this illness. Fighting it, beating it back with a stick, whatever. But that's where all of their time and focus and attention ends up having to go. And I don't want to remember him that way, because that wasn't Bill. That wasn't he turned into because of the sickness, but it's not who he was. And I don't want to think about it. I don't want to remember him that way. So, with that in mind, I just don't want to, I didn't want to like build a shrine to the memory of a sick guy. I just think I don't think he'd like that at all. I think he would have said that was stupid. So I didn't keep everything of his. I kept a few things that were meaningful to me. I gave away some stuff, and I either burned a lot of his stuff, which work clothes, stuff like that, stuff that I couldn't donate to anybody anyway. They were, they were pretty beat up. Or then stuff that wasn't so beat up that I didn't want to keep, I donated or whatever. So I ended up getting rid of most of that stuff. But that was just the stuff he had in the house, his clothes, personal belongings, things like that. Most of his stuff is in the barn, his real guy stuff, his tools, all that. And I'm not ready to deal with those yet. And I'm not even sure how much of this I'm going to need, because I have needed a lot of his tools just in the last couple of months. I've been fixing things, been doing projects, changing things up. Like I had a problem with the cats. At one point in time, we had like 16 freaking cats. And they've died off, most of them. I've got 5 left, which is still a lot of cats. It's way too damn many cats. But these cats are all 15 years old or 16 years old now. They're all geriatric old cats. And they have accidents all over the place. And they were having accidents in the house non-stop, pretty much. First thing I did in the morning when I'd get up is I'd have to go get paper towels and start cleaning up cat messes. And at some point I just kind of lost it. I mean, really lost it. I think it had more to do with, grief than it had to do with the cats making messes, but it was a catalyst for me to just have a screaming meltdown. Literally. Terrible. I don't ever want to do that again. But, so I right when that happened, I decided I've got to find a solution for this, because I'm done catering to these poor old cats. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to kill them off. I don't want to make them go away, but I'm not going to let them destroy my house. I'm just not going to do it. And my sister, when she was here, she had mentioned something about her guy might be able to help me put a door on that laundry room. So I thought, yeah, I've got a door out in the barn for it. So I went out to the barn. I found the door, but it's up in the loft. There's no stairs or anything going to this loft. You have to climb a ladder to get up in the loft, and then you have to move a bunch of stuff because there's stuff I'll put in front of them. And there are 2 doors at the very back of this loft. There's a screen door and a solid door. And the solid door is the one that I had reserved. I had kept it from the original doors in the house to put back on the laundry room, because it was the original door to going into the kitchen. And Bill just refused to put a door up. He did not want to have a door between the kitchen and the laundry room. He was adamant about it. He just never would. So I just let it go. I was like, okay, well, all right. So that I had to deal with all these cats and all this mess for the past several years. And they've gotten progressively worse over the years. I just lost it that day, and I decided, you know what? I'm just not going to do that shit anymore. I'm not having them tear up my house, destroy everything, because they've torn up a lot of stuff. These cats, I've never had destructive cats until I had this herd of cats. And I don't know what it is about them, but they are destructive. But I'm not mean enough to kill them. I don't want them to die. But I'm not going to let them tear up my house anymore. It's just how it is. I'm just not going to do it. So I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to climb up in this loft. I'm out here by myself on the farm. I don't think it's probably a good idea for me, an old lady, go climbing up in this loft and try and wrestle this door out of the back of the loft and then get it down this ladder by myself. So I'm like, okay. And I really have nobody to call to help me because the one person who always says that they want me to call if I need help is always tied up with other stuff and just never can help. And it's not that this person is being a jerk or anything, it's just nature of the situation. They've got a job that is very demanding and keeps them on call. So their time is, you know, they don't have much time to be messing around with me. So I really don't have anybody to help me. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law, they're older than I am and in worse condition, so you know, I can't really expect any help from them for physical stuff. So I just have to figure it out. So instead of climbing up there and potentially falling and breaking my neck and all that, I decided, well, maybe I'll just use my noggin for something besides, you know, a hat hanger. And maybe I'll just go buy myself a little cheap-ass screen door and put that up in between there. And then that'll solve the problem because I can latch it and then the cats can't get in the house. They can go in the laundry room where their food and their kitty box is and their little beds. They've all got little beds in there. So they can still come in when it's hot or when it's cold or when it's raining or whatever, and they can still come in and eat and do everything that they did before, except they can't roam through the house and tear stuff up. So I'm like, okay, that's a solution. So that's what I did. I went down to McCoy's and got myself a $60 screen door. And I hung it up. I still need to get some doorstop and put it around the back side of it, but I had a little piece of doorstop that I put on the front edge of it. So it actually latches. I mean, I can latch it and it does the job, but I need to finish it out. I just haven't done it yet. And so that cured the problem. Now the cats primarily stay outside. They don't even hardly come in the house. There are a couple of them that'll go and lay in the laundry room all day. And one of them, Henry, he's always yelling at me. Let me in, Ma, let me in. I'm like, no, you're as far in as you're gonna go. You can stay out here in your porch, you know, out here in your laundry room. It's not like this is an outside porch or something. It's part of the house. It's, you know, air conditioned and everything. It's just where my washer and dryer and my freezer happen to be, you know, and the cats. That's where the cats can go. So that cured that problem, and evidently the screaming meltdown I had must have done something to make me better overall, because I haven't had very many bad days since then. So it was just something I needed to do, you know, to get it out of my system. I'll tell you, it's terrible. It's terrible to watch somebody you love die. And that's exactly what happened. You know? And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I wouldn't. It's terrible. So anyway, you know, because there's nothing you can do for them. You want to help them, you want to fix them, you want to cure them, but you can't. And all you can do is be there with them. That's it. That's all you can really do. Just be there till they go, and then, you know, then you have to figure out what you're going to do next. So that's where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. And honestly, I have no clue. I'm still selling stuff on eBay, even though I'm not listing anything new. I re-up 10 or 11 listings every day just to keep my store alive. And I've had respectable continuing sales going. Not a bunch, but several sales a week. And it's, you know, a little extra income. Very much welcome. And just working on the house. And I mean, I've been working hard. I've been really working hard. Like doing heavy work. You know, moving furniture. This morning I had asked for help to do this. And the person who was offering help couldn't come do it for whatever reason. So I figured out a way to get it done. I had an old beat up nasty reclining chair, an easy chair, that needed to go to the dump. And so I got myself out there this morning. I tried to load it last week and I just couldn't. I didn't have enough oomph to load this dang thing. So I thought, I'm just going to have to do it. I'm going to have to pull up your big girl britches and get out there and get this thing loaded and get it hauled off. You're not going to have help to do it. You're just going to have to do it. So this morning, that's what I did. I put on my big girl britches. Went out, muscled this damn thing into the back of the truck, which is no easy feat because this truck sits up high. It sits up really high. Tailgate is extremely high on it. And so I got it loaded up, got all the trash that I had ready to go. And I just hauled it off. It was like, okay, I just have to do this. And there was an old mattress too. I just have to do what needs done. It's just how it is. I don't have anybody that I can just holler at to come help me lift something anymore. This is the biggest adjustment for me, just aside from the fact that he's gone, is having to do things by myself, and I have to stop and think about how to do them now because I can't ask him and I can't holler at him for help doing something, even at his sickest. Until like the last week of his life, he was still far stronger than I will ever be. Even though he was an old sick guy, he was still way, way stronger. And there were things I couldn't do or thought I couldn't do, and he would do them. He would, he'd get up and come do it. So, you learn what you got inside of you, I guess, when something like this happens, maybe, is a good way to look at it. I'm finding out that I can do a lot more stuff than I thought I could do. And I've had to do some stuff that was pretty weird stuff to have to do. And I figured out how to do it. I had to fix my Jeep. A pack rat got into my little Jeep. My sister had given us an old 94 Jeep Cherokee Laredo last fall. I went up to Colorado and got it. Bill got it running. So I was running it around all over the place, and about a month before he died, I was out at an estate sale. I just happened to see one. I thought, well, I'll just stop for it. Well, the battery died on it. So we put a new battery in it. He had to come get me. It took him a long time to get around and come get me. That's the last time he drove. It was the last time he went anywhere, really. Except to the doctor. So he came and got me, and then he told me what I needed to do. He figured out the parts I needed, and we put new connectors on the battery, got a new battery. So I went and did all that. So it was running good, and then one morning I went out to start it, and it wouldn't start. It would crank, but it wouldn't turn over. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I got to talking to my brother, and he was like, well, go pull the codes off of it. And he told me how to do that. So I went and checked the codes on it, and it said it wasn't getting a signal to the crankshaft position sensor. So whatever that is. I may not know now what it is, but whatever it was at the time, I was like, I don't know. So I went out and I opened the hood. I hadn't even cracked the hood because I didn't know even where to start or what to do. And so I pulled the code and I went out and looked to see if I could see what was going on. And I talked to my brother about where it was, and he told me it was on the back of the motor. So I knew where to look. So I opened it up and I looked in there, and a rat had gotten in there and chewed wire into on that and several other things too. He chewed up the wire on the O2 sensor, the downstream O2 sensor. He chewed up the pigtail coming out of a wire bundle that goes over to the water temperature sensor. And he chewed a vacuum hose that went to my air conditioning. So he chewed all this stuff up, destroyed it. So I had to actually go find parts, and then I had to rebuild, I had to repair the O2 sensor because the connector was different than the one they had at the parts house. So I ended up having to learn to solder again. I hadn't soldered anything for 50 years. So I had to watch YouTube, figure out how to solder. So I had to solder this wire in like 3 places. And got that done and reinstalled it. And sure enough, I got all that done. It took me a long time to get all this stuff done because the rat had chewed stuff down to nubbins. It's like the wire that went into the water temperature sensor. He chewed it down to like tiny little, just a little stub, not even 1/8 of an inch long. And I had to find a way to get that wire unwrapped from this wire bundle. It took me 45 minutes just to do that because I was taking my time. I didn't want to cut any other wires. I didn't want to tear anything else up, but I had to try and extricate enough of this wire so that I could solder a new wire from the sensor cap over to this pigtail. So I did that, and oh, this sucks. Fuel's higher here than it was in Marlow. Dang it. I guess I'll go get Starbucks and go home. I'll fuel up in Marlow. I have the fuel to do that. Alright. Because they're 10 cents higher here than they are in Marlow today. Huh. That's unusual. I guess I'll go get my Starbucks and just keep talking. So anyway, I did all that, got all those repairs made, and I went and held my breath and tried to start it, and by God, it started. I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, I actually survived all this. So I got that done, got it running, and then I thought, well, I better check this truck. So I did. I opened up the hood, and in the passenger side battery box over there, little bastard had started to make a nest. So I cleared all that out, and so every night since then, this has been going on for a couple months now. Every night, when I put these vehicles up, I put a light under the hood, a bright LED light that goes under the hood, and I've put peppermint oil on cotton balls and stuff in there, trying to deter these pack rats from thinking that that's a nice cozy place to make a nest. And so far it's been working, knock on wood. So I'm pretty happy with that. And I was pretty happy that I was able to actually do this. My brother helped a lot. He kind of talked me through a lot of it. And he gave me encouragement, you know, which is good. It's nice to have some encouragement. So he gave me encouragement, you know, kind of cheered me on. He's 900 miles away, or he would have come and helped me. He's 900 miles away and tied up helping our other sister, our youngest sister, whose husband is also sick with cancer. So he's been building a house for them, basically finishing a house that her husband started to build years ago but never finished. So he's trying to finish that out so they can get moved into it. He's been working on that since last winter, since like October or November last year. So, yeah, it's one of those things. So I've had to decide now, you know, what do I want to do? Well, I still have to decide. I haven't decided. If I could afford to do it, I would probably sell out here, sell the farm, and then go and buy a place in Colorado where my family's at. I actually want to do that because I've got no family here. I've got in-laws here, but I have none of my blood family here. Everybody else is everywhere else. I've got family in Colorado and Arizona and my older sister's in D.C., but she's not going to stay there forever. She's getting ready to retire, I think. And so she's probably going to be moving to Missouri, I would guess, or somewhere. So she'll be in the neighborhood. But I can't afford, because the economy in Colorado has been so screwed up by all the Californians flooding in. It's too expensive to buy a house there, even for what I can get here out of my 3-bedroom, 2-bath house on 12 acres. And it's not fancy. It's an old house. It's a farmhouse. But what I could get out of my whole deal is not enough to buy a little house in town in Colorado, in Craig, Colorado, which is crazy. Because Craig has always been like the cheapest place to live in Colorado. Well, it's not anymore. It's the whole state's screwed up now. So, come on, Texas. Get a move on here, sister. So anyway, I can't afford to move to Colorado. You know, someday that may change. You know, it may. Who knows? Who knows what will happen in the future? I don't know what I'm going to be doing 10 minutes from now, to tell you the truth. I got ideas. But everybody's got ideas. Ideas don't mean a whole lot. You think you're going to do one thing and end up doing something way different when your idea doesn't work out. This lady in front of me is taking forever.
Thank you for choosing Starbucks. How can I help you today?
Hi, can I get a venti decaf mocha, please?
Venti. Okay. Did you want that hot or iced today?
Hot, please.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, it's gonna be $6.52.
Thank you. Right. Haven't done this in a while. I think it's my favorite person here. The window. No, maybe not. No, doesn't look like. There's an older lady who works here. I usually tip her. I'm mean, I don't tip the youngins. But once in a while I do. They're particularly nice.
How we doing, hon?
Doing good. How are you?
Doing all right. 48 cents back. They're finishing that off right now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my word. Okay, so anyway, so that's all about the past. So now I'm going to talk about the future. So evidently I'm just going to stay here because I can't afford to go where I want at this moment in time. So the wisest thing is to do nothing radical and stay put and just, I don't know, spend some time adapting to the situation and figuring out what's next for me. Because I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. I don't have a crystal ball. Actually, I do have a crystal ball. I shouldn't say I don't, but it's not mine. It's up for sale on eBay. It's in my inventory. So I can't say I don't have a crystal ball anymore, because I actually do, but it's not doing me any good because it's not telling me any tales. And I don't expect it to. This is something I'm just going to have to figure out over time. You know, what to do with myself going forward. Because I don't know. I have no idea. The things that I do know is I don't have to actually go out and get a job because of Social Security. Now, I didn't know this. If you're in a situation like I am, you might want to know this. I started taking my Social Security when I turned 62, and it wasn't much. It was a few $100 a month, and I thought that that's what I was going to have to live on, you know, after Bill passed away. There I go saying passed away. I don't like that terminology. After Bill died, I thought that I was going to have to live on my Social Security, and that I was going to probably have to get a job, like go to work at Walmart or some damn thing, because I can't travel anymore. I can't go back to hauling trailers because I've got all these animals I have to take care of. I got chickens and dogs and cats. So I can't leave. I've got to be here. It's just a reality. So I would have had to have gone someplace like Walmart or wherever I could get a job, you know, and just to supplement that and hopefully live on. And so as it turns out, I sat down. My sister, my older sister, said, you need to look into your Social Security and see if you can get Bill's Social Security. And so I did, sat down and filled out the form online, which is, it's a real pain in the butt trying to figure out anything from the Social Security Administration website, because it's a government website and it's got its little glitches. Well, one of the things my sister does is she works for a government entity, a quasi-government entity, I should say. And her job now, she's done a lot of different jobs for them, but her job now is to try and break their website so that they can figure out where the weaknesses are in it so they can fix them. So she went in and she figured out how to do this for them. And I'm not like uncomputer savvy. I'm pretty savvy about it, but man, some of these forms are just, they're nonsensical. They're not clear. The directions aren't clear. Whoever wrote the directions is an idiot because they don't really explain what you need to do. They assume that you already know what you need to do, I think, like they do. So anyway, finally with her assistance, I got this thing filed, and it took a couple of months just for them to get back to me. They said that they had me an appointment for, I think it was actually supposed to be for July something, or August. But since I filled it out online, our local Social Security office called me and said, well, we have this, but we need the actual original documents. You need to bring those over to the office, which is in Lawton. So I was like, okay, I'll bring them on over. So they got me fixed up right there. And as it turns out, even if you take your personal Social Security retirement early, like I did at age 62, if your spouse dies, you are not punished by having to take a ding against your Social Security once you apply for survivor's benefits. So widows or survivor's benefits. So that's what I did. I applied for my widow's benefits. And I didn't think I was going to get much. I figured I would get very little, actually, but I got a lot. My Social Security basically now is equal to what Bill's Social Security was, and he got a lot. So I didn't take like a huge ding on my income. I took a little ding on my income because the only thing that I lost was my little bit of Social Security. So it's like, it's not even a significant amount. So I can easily make that up with my eBay stuff. So I'm fine. I mean, financially, I'm never going to be rich, but I have to kind of watch what I do, but I'm never going to be destitute as long as this holds out. You know what I mean? Because the house is paid for, vehicles are paid for, everything's paid for. I don't owe anybody anything. So in that sense, I don't have to worry about going out and getting a job just to make ends meet. So that was great. That was wonderful news, and I was really happy to hear that because I didn't think it was going to be that way. I thought I was going to have to go back to work. I thought I was going to have to find something to do that, and at my age, getting hired is next to impossible. I'm 66 years old, for crying out loud. Nobody wants to hire an old lady for, anything, any job. There's no job around that anybody wants to hire an old, stringy old lady like me for. Except maybe hauling trailers. I could do that because I was freelancing. But yeah. Anyway, no. So I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about trying to find a critter sitter or any of that. I'm going to be home, take care of them. All the critters, it's all good. So all of that turned out well, as good as it could have, all things considered. Now I just got to figure out what I want to do with myself. I mean, I can't travel, so that's off the table. I can't go to Colorado and visit family until enough of these critters die off that, so it's just the way it is. So I've got 7 chickens. Only 3 of them are very young, and 2 of those are roosters. 2 of the young ones are roosters. I've got 4 hens. Only 1 of them's still laying eggs. The others are all old and retired. So I don't expect them to be around a whole lot longer. And if it gets to the point where I'm down to one laying hen and a couple of roosters, I may try and find somebody to take them. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, one of the roosters is just a pet anyway because he's damaged. He was injured as a little itty bitty baby, and it messed him up a little bit. So he's just a pet. He's Mr. Peeps. Just a pet chicken, pet rooster. And I have to protect him from the other rooster, Big Bird. Because Big Bird is all about protecting the girls, and I've got the one girl that's still laying eggs, Goldie. She'll get in Mr. Peeps' cage with him and cause trouble, and then Big Bird will try and go in and protect her. And poor Peeps, So I have to keep an eye on that. I have to make sure Goldie can't slip into Mr. Peeps' area. And they don't live in little cages. They've got nice runs. So I actually expanded the chicken run and separated them. So they've all got grass. They've all got big water containers. And, I can't let them free range anymore because we had an eagle move in. I'm pretty sure it was an eagle. And killed a couple of my hens. And all this was going on when Bill was dying too. It was really a horrible time. And I lost 3 hens within 2 weeks of Bill dying. One of them died the morning of his funeral. I had to go out and bury her before I went to his funeral. And 2 had died when he was housebound. I had to go out. One of them I never found her body. I think the eagle ate it all. I never could find anything of her. The other one I did find, and all that was left of her was her body. Her head and her shoulders were gone, which was gory enough, so I got her buried, but I never could find the other one. I don't know if it carried her off or what it did. But anyway, so I can't let them run free anymore. So what I did was I expanded the chicken runs to give them plenty of room, and then I put shade cloth over them One, so that they won't get pelted in the head with hail when it hails. They won't get swooped on from the sky by an eagle or a hawk because they can't see them to get to them. And it gives them some shade, which in certain places I put up a tarp under it just to give a little extra shade, make it a little nicer. So they've got a pretty nice place to live. I mean, it's still a chicken run, but, you know, and they're segregated. Got Mr. Peeps in his own area, and then the girls and Big Bird, or Mr. Big as I like to call him now, because he's turned into a tyrant since he became the rooster, the real rooster. But he's done a really good job taking care of those girls, and he gets them roosted up at night. I don't have to chase them all in anymore. When I go out to close up the chicken house at night, he's already got them all up on their roosts. And Mr. Peeps is real good at putting himself to bed too, so he'll be up on his roost. I can go close him in. He has a separate house from the other chickens. He's got a smaller house, it's just his. And the other chickens have a bigger coop, a bigger house. But as long as I've got chickens and cats, I can't just up and leave because nobody's going to be willing to come out there and take care of them. Well, I shouldn't say nobody's going to be willing to. They might be willing, but it would be a big imposition on them to have to do it, and I'm just not going to ask them to do that. So I've just resigned myself to the idea that until these animals have lived out their existences, you know, hopefully happily, I'm just going to be stuck here, basically. And I'm just going to have to hang out and just find a way to be happy here, you know, instead of, you know, just wandering and traveling and stuff. Now, at some point, when they all die off, and they will at some point, if I outlive them, I'll be happy. If I outlive them, then at some point I'll be able to travel. I take the dogs with me. I mean, Tuck doesn't like being in the vehicle. I have to pick him up and put him in the truck, but I think if we did it enough, he'd be fine. He would figure it out. We just we've never made him get in the truck except to go to the bed, you know, which isn't exactly conducive to making him want to get in the truck again. But I can find a way to deal with that. But I can't take the cats or the chickens with me, and have no intention of doing that. I wouldn't want to. So what I've been doing is I've been taking care of things that have been left neglected. And one of the things that has sat neglected for a long time is the little Shasta travel trailer. It's just an old beat up. I mean, it's really beat to hell. It's been hailed on for as long as I've been around almost. It's a 65. So it's almost as old as I am, which may be why I kind of like it. But we fixed it up cute on the inside. And it was just sitting there full of dust. It was awful. It was nasty. Just all dusty and gritty. We hadn't used it really since we went and stayed in New Orleans. I stayed in it in the KOA campground in New Orleans while Bill was in the hospital down there 5 years ago. And I hadn't really used it much since then. I think I may have taken it to Colorado once or twice since then when my mom was still there. My mom was still living. I would take her up to see my sister and brother. She lived down here for a while. So this trailer's just been sitting for at least 3 or 4 years. We haven't really done anything with it. And so I got in there, I really cleaned it out really well. Took all the curtains down. I had made the curtains for it. And they'd been in there so long, they were just sun-baked and they were just falling apart. So I ripped them all out of there. And I ordered all new curtains for it. Nothing fancy, just cheap turquoise colored curtains off of Amazon. So I hung up new curtains in it, cleaned it from top to bottom, cleaned it really well, cleaned out all the cabinets, organized everything, hauled a bunch of junk out of there that didn't need to be in there, got rid of a bunch of stuff, and just kind of went through and fixed it up. So the last 2 things I've got to do to it, I have to put in plexiglass on the inside of the windows. These are like the old rollout windows where they have little panels that flip out. There's like 5 of them stacked, and you turn it and they pop out. The brackets on some of those are rotted out. The metal has failed on those. And so I'm just going to fix this by installing plexiglass inside the window casing so that I don't have to worry about having something on the outside of the trailer that's just going to weather or blow off. So I had a stopgap measure to fix this. Just duct tape, like Gorilla brand duct tape, which worked pretty well. I taped a plastic trash bag inside. I've got one window that's really bad on the back passenger side of the trailer. So I had taped a trash bag inside the window to try and seal it off from the elements, and then I put duct tape on the outside where the panel's missing, because the bottom panel completely fell out on the road somewhere when the thing gave away, when the bracket gave away. So I had that all sealed up, trying to keep out the elements, you know. And so now I've got all of that stripped off, and I've got plexiglass sitting in the living room. I ordered 4 pieces of plexiglass. I'm going to go ahead and do all the windows. There's no reason to have the windows. I've got 3 windows on it that I can actually open and close and use that are fine. But it does have an air conditioner and a heater. So it's climate controlled in there when I'm using it, for the most part. So I've got a couple of windows I can open. I'm going to just seal up the rest of them that are having problems and just not worry about it. I don't have to have them all being functional. So anyway, so that's one of my projects on it. Well, it's 2 of my projects on it. I already got it cleaned up and everything, got the curtains in it, got it prettied up, got all the junk out of it, all the old stuff is gone, everything's nice. And the other project I have for that, besides fixing the window situation, is I want to paint the outside of it, the stripes that are on it. The stripes that are on it, I think the last people who had it touched them up with spray paint. And I went out and kind of cleaned them off, and some of it's coming off. It's not great condition. So I got some enamel paint, and I'm going to repaint the stripes on it. And I've just been waiting for cooler weather to do it. I don't want to do it while it's 100 degrees out, so I'll probably do that this fall now. I thought I was going to get to it sooner. I didn't. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be doing probably this fall, is just go ahead and get the stripes repainted. But I'm not gonna paint them maroon. I'm gonna paint them like candy apple red, like a nice, bright, vintage looking red, and just to spiffy it up a little bit. I think it'll be a lot prettier. I mean, it's still going to be an old hail park trailer. It's never going to be like a restored one with beautiful skin and all that. And I don't care. I'm not worried about that. I want it to be functional, but I also want it to be halfway decent looking, and that'll go a long way toward making it look better. Long way. That would brighten it up quite a bit. So that's a project that I'm just postponing. Right now it's too hot. It's like 95 degrees out today. If I get up real early in the morning and go out there, I might be able to work on it, but I don't know. I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to hang on and wait for a little cooler weather. If it gets back down like in the 70s and 80s this fall, that would probably be a better time to do the painting. I don't know. Better time for me to be outside doing it, that's for sure. Because I'm not crazy about the heat. I mean, I don't necessarily like the cold, but I can adapt to the cold better than I can the heat. So it's one of those things, kind of annoying. Kind of annoying. Oh well. Anyway, so that's a future project, and I've got everything to do it. I just haven't got around to getting it done yet because it's been so hot. Yeah. You may be wondering why I'm wearing a long sleeve black shirt when it's that hot out. What's it, the sun barrier shirts? What is real lightweight? It's actually real cool. Oh, really? God, people are stupid. Dumb as a post. Here, I'm just going to pull out in front of another car. Don't even look. Anyway. So other than that, I guess I'm just going to hang out and see if I can get into a new routine of some kind. I've gone through a couple of phases already. I went through the phase where I couldn't really do anything, and I've gone through the phase where I was trying to do everything just to stay busy so I didn't have to think about anything. I think I'm coming out of that one, and maybe hitting a state of equilibrium would be nice, where I've got a good balance. I need to keep doing stuff because it's good for me to do stuff. It's good for me to get up, move around, and work. And I mean, I put on some muscle, I'll tell you, doing the stuff I've been doing, like hauling chicken feed, and moving furniture, and doing all that stuff. But I've been doing all the yard work too. So there's mowing and trimming, and I mean, it's work, but it's toughened me up some, which is good. I appreciate that. But I got to figure out what else to do with myself. So I'm just kind of coming out of I'm staying as busy as I can stay, so I don't have to think about anything phase. And maybe I'll get into maybe I can stop running, because that's what I've been doing. I've been running, running from reality. Stop running and just start living a little bit, calmly, not with, this crazy intensity, desperation or whatever. And just kind of let things settle, I mean, like I say, if I could, I would sell out and move back to Colorado, but I can't. It's not going to happen anytime soon anyway. So but it's probably better for me to not do anything radical anyway for a while, a year or two maybe, and just see how I feel about things then, because I don't even know how I feel about things right now. I really don't. I don't know. I mean, obviously, clearly, I'm not happy about Bill being dead, but I am happy about him not having to suffer anymore, which even that makes me feel guilty, but I'm sure other people have gone through this before and figured it out. I probably will too. I think about, I don't really want to spend the rest of my life alone, but at the same time, I really am too old to be out there looking for somebody new, the idea is just disgusting in a way. I'm not interested in that. I'm just not. And I don't know if I will be later. I have no idea. Sure not now. And I don't even know how I would take that if, I just can't even imagine it. who lost their spouse, and then a few months later they end up married to somebody else, or having a boyfriend, or I don't know. Not my cup of tea. Not right now. I can't imagine just trying to adjust to how things are now and then having to adjust to another new person in my life too. No. No, thank you. Don't like that idea. Don't like that idea at all. It just seems kind of, I don't know, awful. Awful to even think about. I do know what I'm going to do here in about a mile. I'm going to stop and fuel up like I was going to do up there. I hope they didn't raise the price here. I didn't even think about that. They might have. Oh well. I'll just have to deal with it if they did. I think it was $2.99 here yesterday or the other day when I was out. Whenever it was I was out. I think I went to the store yesterday and got dog food. Yeah. It is here, so tell me if I can see it. They got all these signs up in front of it. $2.99, good. Yeah, so it's 10 cents cheaper here than it was up there. This outfit here usually matches Love's. I don't buy from there, but I buy from Love's because I've got the Love's card. I complained about Love's the whole time I was trucking because their truck stops, their big truck stops are such a rip-off. Oh great, Sunoco's at 309. If Lowe's went up to 309, I'm going to be pissed. No, they didn't. Okay, good. Good. I'll still get 15 cents off, so. $2.99, good. So I'm going to have to be mad. I can be unmad. Just use my Lowe's card. I used to complain about them because their truck stops are such a rip-off. I mean, they really gouge the shit out of you. But they have access to big trucks, and that's what you're paying for there, I guess. That's their theory, or how they look at it, I suppose. I just see it as a big rip. But once I got my Love's card down here, and I'm getting 15 cents a gallon off, and that's a good deal. I had to drag my phone out for this. So I'm going to go do this. And I shall return. down to like 2 gallons, I think. This truck, unlike my old work trucks, only holds like 20 gallons, so it's not that big of a deal. Not that much of an ordeal. Anyway, now I guess I'm in the, I gotta figure out what the hell to do with myself stage. So one of the things I've been thinking about doing is going back to making videos, hence this video. Now I know this is the familiar format for my Woman at the Wheel channel. It's not for my Sue Sells channel. But this is going to go on both channels because I'm not going to do this twice. I don't think I can do this twice. Once is enough. But I'm going to start working on my YouTube channels. Not so much worried about getting a big following or making a lot of money, because that's probably not going to happen. I'm pretty low key and I'm not all that exciting of a person. So I don't expect people to flock to me in droves, but for me, for something fun to do, a hobby, I can get out, even if I can't travel, I can't go away, I can't leave overnight, I can still get out and take day trips and do videos. So I'm going to do that, because there's interesting country around here that I can go see. I mean, I can go 2 or 3 hours away, or 4 even, and, you know, and not have the critters complaining too much. About full. Oh, it was way empty. Okay, it's a 20-gallon tank, and it took 19.973 gallons. I think it actually holds closer to 21 and a half, maybe 22 gallons. It's topped off. That's all right. So I got it for $284 instead of $299 because I used the Love's card. I'm not talking about like a credit card. This is like just Love's app you download on your phone. And then whenever you fuel up, you get X amount off. I was trying to find the Love's with the cheapest price, obviously, so that my 15 cents off really is 15 cents off the lowest price I can find. I was pretty shocked that Chickasha is higher than we are here, because they had been quite a bit lower than us for a long time. But you gotta check. I mean, you can't just assume. Assuming does not do you any good, apparently. So I've heard. So anyway, that's where I'm at. Big change. Not sure what to think about all this yet. I don't expect that I'll have my head wrapped around it anytime soon fully. You know, I just don't think I will, because it's such an enormous, catastrophic situation that I have no idea what all the repercussions are going to be from him dying. But yeah. on. That's why I haven't been making any videos forever, because I've been, you know, dealing with life and death. And from here on out, hopefully I'll be able to just deal with life for a while. Worry about the death portion of it so much. I mean, I know I'm going to go someday, but maybe not today. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm not going to worry about it, I'll tell you that. When that day comes, it'll happen. It'll happen when I'm supposed to go. Until then, I guess I'll just kind of figure out what to do with myself. But yeah. So anyway, this is the video I didn't ever want to make, and I think I actually got it finished now. If it seems a little choppy, it's probably because I cut out some of my ranting and raving and just droning on and on. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to start trying to get a video out every week, at least on the Woman at the Wheel channel. I'm not so sure about the Sue Sells channel. I'm thinking about just shutting that one down. My heart's just not in it, you know. It's just not. So I think that's probably about all I got for the moment. I wonder how long this camera's been way off to the right. Probably a long time. Oh well. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you lasted this long, I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.